Imogen's entering. Joe Hill. Churchill. Not Joe Hill. Joe Stover in Churchill. His phone is picking up decent video of the Northern Lights right now. He's leading a tour group of Northern Lights people, and he's not going to make the show tonight, but he's going to send video clips to put in the final. So here we are. We're back. Going to be one for the books, Joe Stover says. Wish you could be here. We wish you could be here too. Joe Stover is a really beautiful human being. I'm totally love that guy. So things are going to be different here tonight because we are making a TV show. And it's kind of going to be the same from your perspective, but it's going to be a little different from mine, basically, when I edit the show and how I run things. And we're trying to up the quality a little bit. And we're going to have the actual interview session go down to 50 minutes instead of 1 full hour, because we're going to have a lot of extra video footage to start putting in. So that is all the good news. And I'm just starting to share the link around. And I'm hoping some people show up for the show soon. Imogen's here. Good. Can you talk for a minute while I do the job?
Normally it's can you stop talking for a minute, but I'll see what I can do this time around.
No, I never say stop talking.
Okay, you don't, but I only see you once a week here, so you have reason to
That's
not.
True.
You have reason to not tell me to knock it off yet. We had the most psychotic weather here today, man.
Yeah, well, there was some crazy thunderstorms in the interior too. Convection season is beginning.
Excellent. I can't wait. Yes. It's going to be pretty nutty. It was characteristically clear and blue here for the most part. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we had about 10, 15 minutes of hail. Just pelting hail. All of a sudden, the sky just gets real dark. And pretty sure there was a voodoo curse involved. Like someone used a Ouija board upside down or something. But it literally went from clear blue skies with like a couple of clouds to just hail, tons of hail.
That's convection season.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden it's just clear blue again. I said, I've got a little video clip of it that I'm sending in as well. Just because like I did a weather update with clear blue and then all of a sudden it's, gray and angry. And, I think there was a demon hiding up there somewhere and it got a little kooky. Little nutty.
I think my battery pack for my computer just died.
Here's brand new one. Tech as I am. Awesome.
Oh yeah, this is great.
See, I love that I'm not the only one plagued by horrible equipment issues. Like throughout the night, my camera will start showing someone else's panel. Like a second ago, it was showing you. Awesome.
Oh, good. It was just a loose connection on the one side. Oh, I had Asus actually call me today and be like, "Hey, is your problem solved?" And I'm like, "How did you know about this?" And Josh filled a survey out saying that he was unimpressed that I had the one model. It's a heavy duty laptop. I mean, it's almost military grade. It's awesome, right?
Yeah.
But Josh was it's like every laptop Asus makes is like 1/2 volt different in its power supply. So Josh had just filled out a questionnaire, like a survey, a customer satisfaction survey.
Yeah.
And the guy's like calling our house right from Asus themselves. And he's like, "Here, I'm going to email you lists of things for the future. Like always call us." Oh, it was amazing.
That's impressive. You don't get a lot of feedback from companies about stuff like that. I mean,
when they first called, I thought it was Microsoft technical department jerks, right?
Yeah. Or I just like fraud guys who call.
I was almost instantly going to do what I always do is hang up because it sounds like some official guy from some lame company I have nothing to do with. But, in the first sentence, he says from Asus. I'm like, wait a second. Why are you calling here?
Yeah, what the hell? That's unexpected.
Yeah, and it just goes to and then I find out from other people who use Asus that they have the best customer service, hands down. I'm like, really?
Wow.
Yeah, it never dawned on me that I should, fucking call them.
So, I mean, a lot of companies, when you try to contact them for tech support or any kind of support, it goes nowhere. I mean, the number of warranties that I've had to use and contact the company and say, hey, product broke down under standard usage. How do I go about fixing this? And it's like the number is disconnected, or the company has changed names and just no longer exists. I mean, it's happened so many times. It's ridiculous. I see no value in warranties anymore.
Well, and he's saying too, like, we'll make sure you get a first party product, not a third party knockoff
Yeah.
in the future, right?
Cool.
So season 1, episode 1. No one's here yet, so that's fine. Brandon was here, and then my computer flipped out, and everything's so crazy. So what's going on tonight? You're the associate producer.
Apparently so. I guess that's the thing I do now. Yeah.
Well, it's a good way to say that you're the representative, right? So now if you're talking to someone, you say, I'm the associate producer, or whatever. You're like,
I associate with a
make
producer.
up a title you like better if you want, right? But
well, to be fair, on the paperwork, when I was signing the paperwork with Shaw Spotlight, I did say I was a wizard as my official title.
Oh yeah.
So it was one that I understand. It's one that I can use. It's one I've had on business cards before. But for what it's worth, when I had it on a previous business card, it was when I ran a kitchen. And so my actual title was Kitchen Wizard. So I stuck with the wizard theme. Wizard makes stuff happen out of nothing. So there you go. Here we are.
I guess so. Way.
I know, right?
Wizard. I've been called wizard before. In fact, some really freaked out hippie in Nelson once, who like wouldn't wear shoes, and he had a big tattoo of a pot leaf on his forehead.
What?
And he called himself Dreamweaver. He's pretty well known. And then the next time I seen him years later after this, not only was there still a pot leaf on his forehead tattooed there, but there was a cover up with a bigger one that like took up his whole forehead. So it went from a little Dreamweaver, and he gave me this book on BC plants, and it wrote in it, to the white solar wizard. It's like, wow, okay, man, thanks for the book. I'll put that on the shelf and have a laugh every once in a while. White solar wizard.
I'm more curious why hippies have an aversion to shoes. I really genuinely don't understand that. I mean, I can see not wanting to wear your shoes all the time, but I don't.
There's a lot of logic, and I've done this a lot in my life, to just keeping my feet really tough. And there's been times in my life where I've worn so little shoes that I've literally scaled mountains barefoot. And in some ways, I was more efficient because of it. And that
well, you have
a little gentler on my body,
Okay.
But light foot.
Yeah. Well,
and hi, Chris Carpenter from Mackenzie, BC. Hi, Christine Jensen. Shelly Solinsky saying, have a great show. She can't help but thinking this is history in the making. So Canadian, so cool. I love that.
Well, it's history for something, I guess. I mean, we're another YouTube channel, podcast, radio.
Look what else is going on in the world. It's so fucking lame.
You know what? I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm just checking my little play count because I'm fascinated by watching this happen. One of my videos on TikTok, like I'm not super active on TikTok, but I'm there. I have a few things on there. Mostly it's story time for pets, where it's either fitness stuff or I'm reading stories to animals. So like a bedtime story, I'm reading Shel Silverstein stuff to dogs. But one of my videos is viral, and it just hit 31.2 thousand plays in like a few days. So that's kind of neat.
They love the story of the dog named Sue. They hate I'm getting swallowed by a boa constrictor.
Yes. Shel Silverstein wrote some wonderful stuff. And what a lot of people don't know is that the children's stuff was like an afterthought almost. Like it wasn't his go-to. He was a cartoonist and an illustrator. But his bread and butter for a long time was actually Playboy. He basically was a resident of the mansion. But then his writing was so Dr. Seussy in nature and whatnot that it was suggested he write, more kid-friendly stuff. Like the humor was so goofy, and he did, and that's what, overshadowed his whole career, was he became known as children's author. But he was actually like Playboy cartoonist, which is super cool.
What do you know? He swallowed my toe. Oh, geez, up to my knee. Oh, hip. He swallowed my hip.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Brandon Hauk, you're back. And I'm not echoing back and forth anymore. Ridiculously. And I have pretty good image and, and I've displayed as little amount of my Star Wars stuff as possible for Shaw. They're worried that toys could get them in trouble.
Well, to be fair, Disney is legendarily litigious. Like, there's a bit of an ongoing, I don't know how truthful it is, but I've heard this before that, like, I've heard celebrities kind of say this when they're talking about dealing with paparazzi, is that if you hum a Disney tune, then they can't use the footage because Disney is
Well, I'll
so
tell you
litigious
this.
that
I've never had a video pulled for having images of toys on YouTube.
well, true.
Right. But if when I tried to make a video using Miko Minardo's Star Wars disco, that's when YouTube went, nope, copyright.
Yeah,
So they're watching that stuff, like a hawk,
yeah.
and toys are completely okay. In fact, how many documentaries have we seen about toy collectors and things like that? It's like, that's all fair game, right? So I'll challenge them on that one. But for tonight, I don't really care. But it's such a good background. Come on, look at this, people. Isn't this what you want to see? Joey in front of some Star Wars.
Spaceships.
Wildfire. Star Wars, man. That's what you want.
I want to make a crack about why you're single, but I feel like it's also more importantly that you're in the middle of nowhere with limited options.
Well,
So
it's also, if they don't like Star Wars toys, I don't want them again.
it's not a win.
I'm done. I'm done making my house I'm never going to try to have a yuppie way of life. I never have tried it, and it's not what I want. And I don't care if that means I go through periods of poverty.
Okay.
I got this crazy mansion, and since I've been over 2 years, but over 5 since my marriage, just completely alone here. And the place is just getting cooler and cooler. And the more it does, the more I'm like, fuck, I hope no one comes around and tries to ruin this.
I just want to circle back to the idea that lacking Star Wars toys everywhere is a yuppie thing. Like,
no, it's not about that. You get this, Imogen, because you have collectibles and I
my
have
whole house is a
antlers.
museum.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
My house is my art piece. I got
Man.
antlers and skulls and cool toys, and the kids have their own tree fort that comes in. It's a crawl space that you get out to it, right? Like this place. I'm turning off their light because I hate that on when I'm filming. And I got the upstairs space where if I wanted, I could put some lights up here and then pull the map of the earth down. Look at the kids' room. It's bigger than a master bedroom because I live in a mansion.
Oh yeah.
In the middle of nowhere.
Beautiful wells.
Literally, this is like a huge building, and Josh and I have a bizarre collection of people who've come and gone and lived here over the years. But I've come to really love what I got here,
Yeah, you should.
And say if I meet someone on Tinder from Quesnel and they happen to actually have the intelligence quotient I'm looking for, well, they're also like a nurse or something. And if they saw my place, they'd be like, my God. Right. So, you know what? And if they did come in, they'd be like, you don't sweep enough. I'm like, I'm too busy making a video. The dishes haven't been done for 2 days. I don't care. I'm in the middle of a creative process and there's a huge storm going on. In fact, I'm heading to a fire tomorrow and I probably won't be home for 6 weeks. I don't care. There's a little bit of that going on here, right?
Yeah.
As there should be.
Yes.
So take us through, Imogen. Anything we need to know tonight? Associate producer?
I think the main thing is just being aware of copyright stuff. That's why I didn't wear my Count Chocula suit. I'm like, I gotta be careful about that because now we care about copyright. Count Chocula was one that I wanted to do.
Yeah, I still
And
don't
I'm
know
sure
if
it'll come back
costumes,
later.
you know, but we'll just get a few
It might
weeks
be
in and
okay.
they'll just get used to who we are, and then they'll have
Well,
no
around
choice.
Halloween time, a
Well, it's
lot
all
of
about
TV
framing.
presenters wear costumes. So
It's all about Frankie.
It's all about
You know.
framing is the thing. Like if like I showed up, I did a thing. I've worked with Shaw before, like just showing up to do little guest bits on whatever.
I've been a
show
TV host for them, and we recorded my last album in the Quinnell Shaw studio.
Yeah.
I did
And so
a
for one of the-
documentary,
awesome. One of the
but
events
I didn't
that
finish it.
one of the things that I did with them, I showed up, I didn't tell them I was doing it. I just showed up dressed as Elvira, like with the giant wig, the makeup, like the whole bit. Like there's no mistaking the character. Well, it's a copyrighted character. And so that really kind of threw the guys for a bit of a loop, because all of a sudden they're like, you're supposed to be on camera and your whole everything about you is a copyright issue. How that, so there's a little meeting and a little whispering going on, and they framed it however they did. But it did start with an explanation of like, why did you do this? I'm like, it's Wednesday because I could. Felt like
Yeah,
it.
that's
Like
who we are, is completely weird people. And that's why we're making the quality of show we're making.
yeah, so for the station ID, just make sure that we're saying it's Shaw Spotlight. They rebranded a little while ago. So like the promo that Frankie did on YouTube where he says Shaw Cable, Shaw TV, that's old branding, like it doesn't apply. So we gotta just sort of drill that in with Frankie, like it's Shaw Spotlight, Shaw Spotlight.
Well, when you said it's about framing, and I said it's about Frankie. And
Yes.
what they'll eventually learn is, and this is the beauty of Frankie, and this is what we want,
Frankie's
is
a wild
he's just
man.
going to say what he does whenever he wants. And everyone's got to deal with that.
Well, yes and no.
But you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's the truth of it. It's like, you can't, the man's like a prophet. You just can't.
Well, Frankie does take
You can't
direction.
change him.
He does. Like he's done promos before, like he's done paid promos and sponsorships before and whatnot. And he
Of course,
is written script.
But we want real Frankie, who just starts talking about base guy's computer out of the blue.
Oh yeah, he
You know
is.
what I mean?
Really
We want
into
Frankie
Base
who
Guy's
just he's going to say whatever he wants whenever he wants.
Yeah, I'm going to continually ask him about Sharknadoes and and frozen sharks, and how long it takes to boil a megalodon in a volcano. I'm going to ask him random things about sharks and weather, and he's going to run wild. But yeah, we just have to chat with Frankie and get the correct ID in there, and then let him take that and run wild with it.
So we got 6 minutes till Frank time, recording time. I just want to quickly, what has everyone got to throw in?
The rest of my silly story.
We may be missing Hilding. He can't seem to get his phone working, and I just told him like they want image quality.
Yeah, image quality is pretty crucial.
And specifically, they wanted his image quality. So
yeah, his was pretty bad.
But I do have some video clips from him still.
Good.
And if you are typing right now, tell him to make more. Send them to me.
I have absolutely everything on my computer shut off right now because it's like I have so many tech problems that if I have anything else open while I'm running Zoom, the camera malfunctions really bad.
Yeah, I got mine like way over here, and I got worst case survival game holding it up because I'm trying to like have it the least amount of toys, and even you can't do that on YouTube, kind of behind my head, and I'm trying to be cognizant. But yeah, so what do you have? Quickly, let's run through both of you.
Okay.
I ate a whole slab cake by myself, man. I ate half of it in my car with my hands. I just kept picking at it, and all of a sudden I'm like, half the slab cake is gone. So that cake that I sent you the video clip of, the white one, oh yeah, that's like I am just so bloated and drooling. I'm sweating icing right now.
That's good, man. That's good. So Imogen ate her cake.
I got a video going seriously viral right now, which is super cool. Just because I've had a few things go viral, and it's always fun when it does. So watching the numbers and kind of I'm curious where it's going to top out. So I'm pretty stoked about that.
Good. What do you got for Victoria specifically too?
specifically for Victoria. Oh, just crazy weather. Lots of crazy weather going on.
Yeah.
I filmed my little intro. I filmed my little intro over at the Art Farm, which is a music studio. It's just sort of like it's just a hive of activity. Like it's kind of a central spot where musicians go. I got the little hoodie because I've just been hanging out there. It was cold, so I grabbed a hoodie. So that's where I recorded the intro. I think I sent you some clips of fire blowing from like New Year's Eve. That was there. It's just kind of a fun place. Not that that's really anything noteworthy or discussion worthy, but that's where I filmed my intro piece. So
Cool.
Brandon, weather and what do you all got?
Weather. Well, for weather side of things, we'll break down the story in Western Canada with British Columbia staying a little unsettled through the weekend, and then we'll talk about the Alberta story on the cool down for next week, the weather scenario that occurred this week with a couple of blasts of snow, and we had a nice warm Chinook day today. We had wind gusts 117 kilometers an hour in Lethbridge this morning. So it was a wild day today, and we'll break that down, as well as we'll look into the forecast for Saskatchewan, Manitoba for next week, looking dry and cold. We'll also talk about the tornadoes, the touchdown in Texas today.
That's kind of what I'm going for, because I know you're going to talk about everywhere in Western Canada, but I want to just have some point to tornadoes in Texas today. That's a good one. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Talking for them.
Probably
tornadoes in Texas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Briefly talk about the Eastern storm, the Great Lakes, and then the rest of my silly old story that I got.
Do you have anything on the avalanche deaths?
I
Avalanche
really...
Canada still doesn't have a report up.
Okay. There was an article on CTV.
Like I've seen them, but
tell them that it was from CTV.
If you could bring it up near the end of your spiel,
yeah,
so that I can go into it even.
Yeah, there's I think it was Global or CTV. I'll look for the news article here. We'll talk about that. It's up on the news there.
Because I have kind of a basics of what's going on, but Avalanche Canada still doesn't have a full report yet. So, and sometimes when there's a fatalities, they take a few days before they put the report up for whatever reason. But that's something I've seen again and again.
Damn, that's a delay.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's all the news buzz.
Okay.
Avalanche, cool. Big thing is we got to get Frankie talking about Frankie in the second half of the show.
Yeah, this is definitely this is a new audience, so this is kind of where our introductions and the point form of our respective characters come into play.
So we can introduce ourselves.
Yeah, and I'll try to make real good on that.
My name is Brandon Houck. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, other little point form note. I just did another magazine interview, and I'm not going to say the names of anything until it's totally published and done, because it can always get pulled at the last second. But it's definitely like a Rolling Stone, Revolver, Maxim type of magazine. So I just did an interview with that, and I've got two more I've got two more fashion mag covers coming down the pipeline as well. So yeah, once that gets published, that's like it'll be 5 interviews, 4 cover spots, as long as nothing gets pulled, then yeah, that's where it is. Just this year.
That's good.
Because why not? Because I can.
Okay, here's Frankie.
Hey, score. Franklin.
Be ready to go in a sec, and
Yep.
Hi, Frankie.
Hi, Joey.
You all ready to go?
Yes, I'm getting prepared now.
Okay, I'm going to hit record and we'll start in on this.
Yes.
Good morning, Prince George. Hello, Victoria. Good day, Kamloops. Good afternoon, Winnipeg. I'm Joey Only here. This is the Comedeorological Report. Comedy plus meteorology equals comedeorology. It's a science that I founded just over 2 years ago. This is episode 1 of season 1 of the Comedeorological Report on TV on Shaw Spotlight. So this is actually our 99th episode of the show, but it's episode 1. So figure that out. What is it? Episode 99, episode 1. We have our panel of comedy meteorologists here. And as the show goes on in the coming weeks, we'll be adding more and more of the usual regulars back into the show. But for tonight, you get the standard people. You're listening to us on CFUR 88.7 FM, Prince George, where it all began. You're listening to us on CFBX 92.5 FM, Kamloops. You're listening to us on, there's so many things to say now, CKW 95.9 FM, and Shaw Spotlight. I'm Joey Only. I live here in Wells, British Columbia. I'm the host of your show. You can find all the past episodes on Joey Only, Caribou Weather Dude. Now, who are the panel of meteorologists? Number one guy who we're going to talk about the most in a couple minutes is the world famous Frankie McDonald. You probably already know something about him. And if you don't, you're going to know a lot soon. The other guy we always have, number 2, is our Western Canada weather specialist. His name is Brandon Houck, and he's a radio man out in Brooks, Alberta. He's number 1 guy at 105.7 FM, real country radio in Brooks, Alberta. And he's also like a whole bunch of other stuff. He's like a weather maniac, this guy, Brandon Houck. And then we have Imogen Cookie Bailey, who joins us from Victoria, British Columbia. So that's kind of what we're starting with this week, just to keep it simple for everybody. Number 1 is Frankie McDonald. He's out in the street in Sydney, Nova Scotia, and every week he gives us a big rundown on the weather. So we're going to go right straight to Frankie McDonald. Frankie, how you doing so far?
I'm doing great so far. In autobiography history about me when I was a little boy and a little toddler, I used to watch the weather on TV a lot, and I used to go swimming, driving on bicycles and things like this, and tricycles. I drove bikes when I was a little boy, swing on a swing, going on the side teeter-totters, things like this when I was a little boy. And I learned to use the toy gadgets when I was a kid, things like this. And I graduated from Sydney Academy High School in 2004. I learned how to use computers in the 1990s, and I learned how to type properly in my typing class in 2002-2003 school year at Sydney Academy. I graduated from Sydney Academy in June 2004. Then December 27, 2007, I started my YouTube channel, and that don't exist anymore. Blank 99 and no longer exists. I just did videos of the scenery. Then on December 16, 2009, I did the very first video of myself. Then in June 2010, I did the very first viral video, severe earthquake warning for California, September 2010. And my severe earthquake warning for California, September 2010 video made it to Tosh.0 Season 2, Episode 13 on the Comedy Network Canada, Comedy Central United States. Then I started my first YouTube channel June 14, 2011. And my most viewed video ever on my YouTube channel is Guy Tries to Eat 50 Hot Dogs Once. I got 283,000 subscribers as of right now on my YouTube channel. And I'm doing really well doing weather reports. My most viewed weather report ever on my YouTube channel is Major Storm to hit South Dakota on Friday, October 4th, 2013. Got so many views. And I did a major earthquake to hit New Zealand anytime soon. Massive earthquake to hit New Zealand anytime soon on Friday, October 21st, 2016. 3 weeks later on Sunday, November 13, 2016. I got my earthquake prediction right, 7.8 magnitude earthquake. The news picked me up all over the internet and things like this. But so many people saw my video.
How many times have you been right about earthquake predictions, Frankie?
California in 2019. In 2016, quite a few were right. In Turkey, earthquake, things like this, etc. And it's going to be a snowstorm in Sydney, Nova Scotia, Thursday overnight and early Friday morning. And Toronto's getting the blizzard conditions and things like this. It's going to bring severe weather in Dallas, Texas, and things like this. And Los Angeles and Vancouver, British Columbia is getting some snow and rain mix in Vancouver, British Columbia, and if not, New Caledonia. It's a tropical cyclone somewhere in the South Pacific, one cyclone right after another there. Right now, Australia's into their southern hemisphere, meteorological autumn in southern hemisphere in Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, and Chile, and all those places. Lots of thunderstorms and rain going on in Venezuela, Brazil, all across Peru, Ecuador, and Bolivia, and Amazon rainforest bringing lots of rain and thunderstorms right now. And India is going to get into really hot weather next month in May. That's their summer. Once their summer ends, they'll be entering monsoon season in June and July. And it's going to bring They had cold weather in Algeria this week, and Siberia is getting warmer right now, bit by bit. It's getting us warmer temperatures in Siberia as of right now. That means Siberia's high is gradually weakening for next in April. Temperature will be going above freezing in Siberia and things like this.
Frankie McDonald, who has the worst weather in the entire world right now?
Somewhere in Pananu, there's a lot of cyclones going on there right now. Some person messaged me on Facebook Messenger, and I just sent her a video. She's down South Pacific somewhere.
I see. How come you started?
And my original Frank Del bobbleheads came out in 2016, but bobbleheads Canada no longer exists. And then current Frank Del bobbleheads coming out is from National Bobblehead Hall of Fame is Cowboy Frank Del bobblehead. And as for previous Frank Del bobbleheads, there's 32 orange talking Frank Del bobbleheads left in stock according to National Bobblehead Hall of Fame. I'm also an author of book Be Prepared, the Frankie McDonald Guide to Life, Weather, and Everything, according to Nimbus Publishing in Halifax.
I do have that book here somewhere. And usually it's right here.
Oh, you say that now. The one time.
Ah,
Okay.
told you. What's this right here? Frankie McDonald's book. So he's the real deal. This is Imogen Bailey. She's
Hi.
our associate producer of the show. And
All
Yeah.
that means I associate with the producer.
Frankie, why did you start so many YouTube channels?
My current YouTube channel is Dogs and Wolves. That's Frankie, aka Frankie McDonald, since June 14, 2011. My YouTube channel is going to be 12 years old in June.
All right. Building's still messaging me. I can't do everything at once.
Frankie, why do you have so many YouTube channels? You
I
have
only got Dogs and Wolves is my YouTube channel. I
thought
closed
you had
down
like
my
four.
old YouTube channel, Flank 99. It don't exist anymore in June 2010. I only got one YouTube channel, Dogs and Wolves.
Well, why did you close those channels up is what I was trying to get at.
Back then, I didn't know how to ignore clowns, trolls, haters back in 2010. I learned my lesson now. I ignored all clowns and trolls.
That's one of the strengths about you, is that you ignore all the clowns and trolls. Frankie, what's the weather doing in outer space right now?
Solar flares shooting from the sun and things like this. As of right now, lots of solar flares shooting from the sun right now and things like this. It was really bad and disrupting the television signal, disrupting the NHL hockey game on regular television.
Yeah, we had some amazing northern lights here, Frankie. The other night, I went out in the truck with the kids.
You're the last person to order a green talking Frank Doll bobblehead.
That's true. To celebrate a new show, I was like, you know what? Because I got so much cool stuff here. I got a little bit of extra money right now. I was like, it's time that I got myself the Frankie McDonald. And the last one, I said, Frankie, which one should I get? And he said, get the green. There's only one left. And I was like, yeah, of course. That makes sense. So then Brandon had to get the orange one because well, he's the orange man.
Also
the
known
orange
as a
man.
ginger jam.
Imogen, you'll be getting the orange Frankie Doll bobblehead too from National
I
Bobblehead
am.
Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm under order to, I guess Frank. Okay. So there's this weird thing with Frankie where he'll like video call and give us orders to go and just show up at like, he'll send a link and say, this is a podcast, go here. And we follow Frankie's orders and it's always an adventure. It's not usually shopping related. It's usually podcasts. And there have been some really wild experiences that we've all had. We've all popped up in some kid's living room or
The bobblehead is made by National Bobblehead Hall of Fame. They use my face. They use my likeness and things like this. And I just showed them. Told them my sneaker laces are white and things like this. I told them my sneakers are white.
Sometimes Frankie says, show up for this podcast. And we show up and we're like on national TV. And then the next time he says, show up for the podcast. And it's 13-year-old kids. And who are making their very first podcast. And it's like, that's what Frankie does, is he just supports everybody. That's how the show originally began. I was just like, I need to make a show, a really weird one, because I'm really weird about weather. We're like, well, who's the funniest person I know in the world of weather? It's like, I'll message Frankie. Want to make a show? And he's like, good idea. And that's
And
That
then
was
it
it.
happens. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Frankie wants something to happen and it does. And it's usually Frankie decides that it's time to be on a podcast for no reason. He'll find one and then message 20 of us. And because he just wants to go with a group of friends. Frankie wants his entourage to go with them and just roll into a podcast. And
So
we
Frankie, tell us about the storm in Sydney, Nova Scotia that's coming. You're outside right now still. When's it getting there?
It's going to bring 30 to 40 centimeters or so in Halifax, Nova Scotia, 10 to 15 in Sydney, Nova Scotia, because Halifax is getting a lot of snow. And so is Toronto, Ontario is getting 30 plus centimeters of snow in Toronto, too.
So we are going to come back to Frankie McDonald in a little bit and talk to him some more. But we are going to continue with the usual format of the show, which brings us next to the Ginger Gem himself, Brandon Houck. This guy, he went to a Calgary Flames game this week and killed a cat to do so. But that's not in his nature to do things like that. It's Brandon's not generally, you know.
I didn't do it on purpose. No,
he does. I mean, yeah, he's an Albertan, so he does eat meat, but he would never purposely kill your cat.
I might eat meat.
Lord. That took a gruesome turn. All of a sudden, the Ginger Gem goes from being the sweet little boy next door to like a cat murder. Why? What have you done? There's more to this. I demand an explanation.
Oh, there's an explanation. Yeah. It's just that evil around here.
So besides that, though, so then after the hockey game, you're driving home and you had like some kind of a badger underneath the truck.
Well, actually, this is as we were getting into the vehicle here, and we had this just kept walking out of the gate. So we were coming out of the gate and we were in the parking lot there. And all of a sudden we hear this strange noise inside this vehicle. It goes or something like that. So I'm like, oh goodness, what is that? So we're in the back seat and it's coming from the back seat of the truck there. And there's this noise. It keeps going. It keeps going. We're looking under the seat. We've grabbed flashlights. We're taking things out of the back seat of the truck there. We're looking behind the seats. We're looking all over the place. And we're trying to figure out what this sound is. It keeps going. And we're almost ready to give up here. And all of a sudden, we look up to the roof and we forgot that we had a DVD player in the vehicle, and what is popping in and out of that DVD player? That is the Lost World of Jurassic Park.
He's like driving down the road after having this cat experience, and there's like dinosaurs in the truck.
Yep.
Okay, hold on. Can you go back and clarify the cat experience? Because all we've said is that Brandon murdered a cat, and that does not sound right. Can you just clarify?
Well, you'll have to wait for the video. We've already did you not see the video I made, Imogen?
The video.
I skimmed it.
All right.
You have to watch the video.
If you're going to plug it into the finished edited episode, then fine. I'll watch it with context.
We don't want to overtalk.
But at the moment, it all just sounds bad for Brandon.
It's bad for Brandon.
It is. Though I make it sound better in the video. I explain things.
Well, we might as well explain it now. So Brandon ran over a cat.
No, I did not. The cat was he snuck into the vehicle and we didn't know it was there, when you're driving away.
He aimed right for it.
So you stole a cat. You kidnapped a kitty. Okay. You know what? That's not.
Did not kidnap a cat.
There's like some child somewhere right now, like bawling.
You're bad people.
No, this is like a stray cat, like cat.
That's
wild
not better. That's not better. You took it from its home.
Well, it was bad. So there were no dinosaurs in the truck, though. Thank goodness. That would have been completely bad.
Well, yeah,
that's right. Didn't want to get eaten by a dinosaur.
Like after the cat thing, like, what is this noise in my truck? And you never know when you go to Alberta, when you go to Calgary, you never know when you might pick up a dinosaur.
That's right. It's just like the Vacation with the Griswolds, pretty much. You never know what you're going to get.
So, Brandon Hauk, other things that you do is that you also produce Brooks Bandits hockey games. So, talk to us about the Brooks Bandits this week. You went to the game last night, and what are they? They're 70 wins and no losses this year or something? What's going on?
Yeah, well, I did not go to the game. I was in the studio producing the game, making the game all magical for all of our audience and putting music in and just making it sound really, really good on radio here. So that's what I did last night. And we are like number one in all of Canada, this Brooks Bandit hockey team. So yeah, we were like champions last year, and I think we're going to get pretty close to champions again this year. So yeah, that's just me bragging about the Brooks Bandits. But yeah, Brooks Bandits, at least I'd say they've only got at least 5 losses for the whole season here. So I'd say pretty incredible, successful season. 1 overtime, 1 shootout loss. And now it's I think I've been to overtime like 3 times in the 60 game period. We've got one more game to play on Sunday. What day is that? I'm gonna double check here. March the 5th. All right, so Sunday, March the 5th, that is our last game of the regular season. And then we were moving on to the playoffs, and looks like we are in a bye for the first round because we're so good. So we have to sit and wait while all the other teams play to find out who we're going to play next. And that's going to be figured out probably March 24th will be the next time the Bandits play after a bit of a break, a little bit of a hiatus there. So that is your Brooks Bandits, national champions, 3-time national champions. And we're going to try to go for another title again this upcoming spring.
And well, you know that without good production behind them, they wouldn't have that pride that makes them like, we are just from Brooks, Alberta, but we got this. We got amazing production going on behind us. We got Brandon Hauk in the studio. We got that guy who's always, at the game talking.
Oh yeah, Nathan Crosby.
Nathan Crosby.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so what's the weather doing in Brooks, Alberta? And Brandon Hauk's main segment is he gives us the Western Canada weather. Because he is the weather specialist. Weather specialist Brandon Hauk. Lay it out.
All right. So yes, let's get this Western Canada forecast going here. So this week itself, we had some pretty wild weather today. We'll talk about today's weather, but a couple of days ago, we had a couple blasts of snow, no significant accumulations, but at least a couple pretty good blasts of snow here and there. Temperatures kind of bouncing around. It's been cool last couple of days, really warm today with the Chinook that rolled in this morning and produced wind gusts of 117 kilometers an hour in Lethbridge and blowing sand and dust in Lethbridge this morning. So all the white snow turned brown today in Lethbridge. So that's what happened in Lethbridge today. And then we've had the convective flurries and snow showers popping up this evening in the central region of the province and into the foothills and mountain parks. We also had Highway 3 shut down due to a vehicle collision there from earlier today. And we'll update you on that situation later when we find out more on that. The other thing is we also had thunder and lightning today near Vernon, British Columbia. So a little bit of convection and a little bit of instability. Not enough instability to get anything like wild that they're getting in Texas going, but enough instability, a couple lightning strikes, not out of the question today, which was the 2nd of March, and again for the 3rd here. So we'll be watching the instability values over the next few days. And even on the coastal sections of British Columbia as well, we're going to be dealing with a couple of scattered showers, snow showers, maybe the odd lightning strike here and there. But and in the interior sections, we get a little bit more on that snow shower activity there. And for us in Alberta into next week, we're going to be back into that northwesterly or northeasterly flow here. So that's going to mean the potential could be there for a little bit more snow shower activity to develop into early next week, maybe a couple centimeters Monday into Tuesday-ish, which would be the 6th and 7th of March there. And then as we go throughout most of next week, temperatures going to be on the cool side. So it's definitely going to feel like winter still with daytime highs in the minus teens, overnight lows pushing minus 20s for Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba. Doesn't look like much in the way of any precipitation for Saskatchewan and Manitoba as we go into next week there. So the bulk of the precipitation looks to stay in Alberta and through British Columbia, and then we'll have to watch later next week. Meanwhile, BC is going to stay on the mild side, but later next week we might have to watch for another storm system move on the coast sections there, and that might bring another round of significant precipitation for coastal sections of British Columbia there. And then today they had some wild weather in Texas. They're still dealing with severe thunderstorm watches, tornado warnings at this hour, and we had a nasty storm hit Dallas with wind gusts over 125 kilometers an hour in the last couple of hours there. So power flashes all over the city, and damage has been reported as well. And we still have even had a couple of tornadoes touch down just to the east of Dallas, even one touchdown in Shreveport, Louisiana, and another tornado touchdown actually in the city of Dallas. So we'll continue to investigate that.
The beginning of convection season, it's happening, right? Because we've already had some hailers, and now we had some lightning and thunder today in the British Columbia interior. For everybody who's not aware, I should have said this at the top of the hour, is that we record the show on Thursday nights. So whenever you're seeing it or hearing it or whatevering it, just know that that's when we say today, we don't mean your today, we mean our today. We'd like to mean your today, but this is the time traveling thing that we do here in the show. Nonetheless, we try our best to give yourselves and everybody else around kind of an overview of the stories of the week, right, Brandon? So Imogen has a tornado question for you.
Oh, yes.
I do. Now, I'm sure you have a solid idea where I'm going with this.
It's going to involve sharks flying in the air.
It has to. Now, I would normally ask Frankie this, but I'm going to ask Brandon because Brandon brought up tornadoes. Now, what would the wind speed have to be to create enough suction to pull a standard extra medium-sized shark out of the water and hurl it across a trailer park?
That's easy.
I'm going to go with at least, I'd say at least 130 to 200 kilometers an hour. That would pull sharks out of the water. Or,
a solid F2, you got flying sharks.
Yeah, flying sharks, just like flying cows.
Speaking of tornadoes, Brandon, not to diminish anything from the importance of talking about Sharknadoes every week, but we got a couple special guests coming, because one of the things we're going to be doing more often, and what we always do on the regular show, that's not the pilot show, that's trying to be like let's just get one show down. That's exactly what Shaw Spotlight wants us to kind of do. We always have special guests on. And what do you got lined up for us this month, Brandon?
Yes, later on this month, we are going to have some special guests coming on the show, and they're going to be they're putting together this a big event. They've started this big event many years ago, but they're going to keep it going.
Did we lose our ginger gem?
We're not going to lose your ginger gem. No.
Good, he froze there.
No, you froze.
I think
froze.
Yeah, the ginger gem is still here.
In the
clearly, he's not frozen.
To be fair, in the presence of
I'm moving around,
beauty, it's hard not to.
I think what we do need to emphasize is Ginger Gem may need to use a cell phone for better video quality. Not tonight, obviously, but these are one of the. We have lots of technical problems that we're trying to work out. People don't. If you don't not aware, my entire computer life went to mayhem this past month, and I'm just getting things back up and going. But I'm also making huge upgrades right now. We got a brand new supercomputer coming, nonetheless. So we're gonna have more computing power. It's almost like the pilot episode's like a week too soon. I'm not quite fully ready, and all the videos I've been trying to make, the quality's kind of lacked because I didn't have my laptop available to make it. So, anyways, what was I saying? So your tornado con.
Yes, ChaserCon Canada. This is an event that's been held for many years. It's going to be held in Olds, Alberta this year. And we have a couple of storm chasers coming on the show in the middle of this month here. Chris Ratzlaff and Tracy Dick. They're very good storm chasers, and they're going to be jumping on the show, and they're going to be telling us about what's coming up for ChaserCon Canada, what we could look forward to. We're going to talk a little bit about their event and even probably talk about their storm chasing experiences.
That's what I'm especially interested in.
And especially Aaron J. Jack, extreme meteorologist Aaron J. Jack, met me in person at the Mayflower Ball on Friday, September 23rd, 2022. That's before the day before Hurricane Fiona hit Sydney, Nova Scotia, I lost power for a whole week in my hometown of Sydney, Nova Scotia. The telephone pole was upside down, power lines on the streets, and things like this. And they had to declare it as a state of emergency because the Fiona did a lot of damage in my hometown of Sydney, Nova Scotia back on September 24th, 2022. It took a long time to clean up. They had to deploy it in the military, power trucks, things like this. And I got something to say. Joey Only Show is not the only show that got a new computer, but Bass Guy Show, I'm on his show every Friday afterwards at 4 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time, 12 p.m. Pacific
It's almost-
Standard Time, Bass Guy Show.
It's almost like everybody who works with Frankie is having a lot of good luck happen to them, right? Doesn't it feel like that? Everything's just going our
yes.
way. Yeah, and so Bass Guy, he's got his brand new computer too.
There's another podcast out there, Jack Casey, aka Bass Guy Show. He got a new computer for his show as well. Bass Guy Show every Friday afternoon at 4 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Bass Guy Show is on his YouTube channel as well. Bass Guy's a really nice guy. I'm on his show, things like this. He has his own podcast called The Bass Guy Show.
So let's go back to talking about Aaron Jajak for a second, Frankie. Do you think we're going to see Aaron Jajak when we're all together in Sydney, Nova Scotia on April 8th, 2024?
Yes, I told him to follow your Facebook page and your Twitter page back on Friday, September 23rd, 2022. I met him in person at the Mayflower Mall then.
Yeah, and we are Facebook friends there, I noticed. And so that's what's going on, though. We're all going to go to Sydney, Nova Scotia. Everybody who knows Frankie, the whole world's going to go to Sydney, Nova Scotia.
Total solar eclipse is happening in Sydney, Nova Scotia on Monday, April 8th, 2024. All you guys are heading for Sydney, Nova Scotia on Friday, April 5th, 2024. And back in June 22nd, 2018, Bass Guy Show came to the Big Fiddle when I was still working at the Mayflower Mall. Then on Saturday, June 23rd, my book launch took place at the Mayflower Mall. Bass Guy was there. A lot of people went to see me at the book launch and things like this. Monica Beaulieu was there. Monica Beaulieu was doing great so far.
Now, that'll be the launch of season 2, episode 1. Everybody in Sydney, Nova Scotia, right? Even you, Imogen?
Yeah, should be. I
Brandon?
mean,
Yeah. We'll get it
Okay.
done.
I was
Brandon, there
gonna
was
say-
avalanches today.
Oh, yes. Avalanches. Yeah, we had actually, I think this was yesterday here. I'm just going to find the
Trying to get
article
through the
here.
Brandon Houck segment now. And we've been really dragging out tonight, but that's good.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I plan to do, is just drag it all out. So we had a couple of avalanches here near Invermere, British Columbia here. Believe at least as we get the latest update here, at least a couple of fatalities. 3 Germans from folks from Germany passed away in the avalanche here near Invermere yesterday. And yeah, so definitely not a good situation there. So
And
yeah.
the official report's not up on Avalanche Canada yet. Otherwise, I'd have more to say. I'm pretty sure if you tune into my YouTube channel, Joey Only Caribou Weather Dude, I often make avalanche reports. And I've been really stressing how dangerous it is this year. I mean, everyone is. Avalanche Canada's been doing their best to get the word out. I mean, people are going to do what they do, I guess, obviously. And what this phenomenon is, I've thought about this a fair bit. It's the phenomenon of, this is my one chance. It was all meant to be. I'm here. It's my one chance. Nothing bad's going to happen. I'll give you an example. There was that guy who used to snowboard. He'd climb mountains, really big ones, and then he'd snowboard down from the top. And his life dream was to work himself up to Everest. And he spent years saving money and training. And they finally got to Mount Everest, and he went all the way to the top. And a storm was moving in. And the Sherpas were like, don't go down. And he said, no, this is my one chance. And no one ever saw him again. You know, and it's like, that's a phenomenon. It's like, it can't happen to me. Or like, there's the mystical feeling you get in your life when you've planned something for so long. You traveled across the ocean to come to BC for your big ski trip. It's your one weekend off because you work 70-hour weeks as a logger or whatever, right? And you get this one chance to go, this is my chance this winter. And people that have this sort of like, it's fatalistic. Everything's meant to be. What a perfect day. And then, so now it's 12 people so far this year, at least, that have been killed by avalanches. Never mind the ones you don't know of. Prince George, Saturday, high -2, clear at night, low of -17. So it's supposed to be kind of on the cool side seasonally still for the next bunch of days. -16 at night, say on Sunday, -19 at night on Monday. But of course, the daytime, the heating, I mean, you'll see the temperature say on the forecast -9, but when you're in the sun during the day now, the sun's radiant power will make it feel warmer and often will be melting things, even though it's well below zero air temperature. And just to put it into perspective, if they're saying it's a bit of a cold snap coming, well, it's not, because in 1976, it was -34.4 today. No one's getting that, are they, Brandon?
Nope. We broke the record this day in 2019 when we reached -38 degrees here. So I remember that day. That was the night of the Prairie Girls Gala. One of the first ones I went to.
Wow.
So I'm going to go to the Prairie Girls Gala next year. Brandon said that I can sell myself off. And
There you
he
go.
said, because I'm not even
Auction
from
yourself.
Brooks, they'll just
Right.
tear the clothes off me. I can't wait. I'm
They
going to do
will.
it. So
Absolutely.
hi, Mike and Rihanna from Medicine Hat, Alberta. That's
Oh
cool.
boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta
And-
say, with you guys in your -30, -40 Siberian nightmarish frozen hellscape, being on a tropical island, let's face it, Vancouver Island is very tropical. We have the most gentle, tamest climate ever. Here's what our week looks like. Today we had a high of 8, low of 1. That's our wild winter variable.
Woo!
Throughout the week, we're gonna have high of 7, low of 1. It's going to get down to 1 or 2 degrees. We may get a little bit of freezing here and there. That's it. We're tropical. I live in a tropical paradise.
Well, Brandon will agree with me
Ha, ha,
that
ha.
that can make you weak.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. But to be fair, this is a retirement city. We have a lot of seniors. We have a lot of older people. The moderate climate is very inviting for people who do have a lot of diverse abilities, because we do have that gentle, temperate environment all year. So growing up here, I want the heavy snow. I want the extreme weather. I want to see tidal waves and tsunamis. It's an island, Pacific Rim. We should get at least a couple here and there. We have, but not this week. This week,
In the last 10 days in Wells, I think we've had about 70 centimeters of snowfall. And that's
Yeah.
completely normal here. And I love it, actually. It's been nice and warm and snowing. And that's the way we like it here. As long as it's snowing, then we're getting that Pacific weather and we're not getting that Alberta weather, which should just stay over where Brandon is and never come again.
you get the truly Canadian experience, in that the hostility of the weather is just too polite to come to your door. So
Just too polite.
you get the polite version of what everyone else has to deal with. So you have
They
most
got up to
Canadian
5
weather.
here, so it was pretty decent. I missed out on the wind though. I didn't get the wind gusts of 117 when it's 5, so not as
Jelly.
lovely as it is when it's calm wind and it's 5 degrees out in March and you're sitting out there just ready to you're outside, you're taking your short sleeves and going down the street in shorts, and it's 5 degrees. How Canadian are we?
To be fair, the weather today was a little bit chaotic. I sent in the video clip that they'll be showing really highlights that. It was clear blue skies with a couple of clouds. Like, I had to look around and find a couple of clouds. Very clear, crystal clear, beautiful, tropical paradise. And then 20 minutes later, nothing but angry, demonic, opening the gates of hell from the sky. Dark, black, angry clouds come rolling in.
Yes.
There's like 3 minutes of heavy rain, and then we're pelted by hail. 15
Convection.
minutes of hailstorm. Yes.
It-
15 minutes.
It's
of
my
hail.
favorite weather.
season,
My
baby.
car.
I love it. Soon it starts
Yeah.
like this. It starts with little hailers, and then it starts with little thunderstorms that go along the ridge top and just give a little lightning here and there. And then the lightning storms get a little bit bigger, and then they get a little bit bigger. And then as you start getting later into May, they get angry, and then we start getting severe thunderstorm watches and warnings and things like that. And then it dries out, and then we get thunderstorms and that create fires. And then Joey gets called to work.
Woo!
That's how it happens.
Circling back to the sporadic lightning here, what voltage of lightning would it take to flash fry a medium shark? Going back to sharks, man.
Okay, well,
How
you don't understand. A bolt of
voltage?
lightning.
If you hit a
It's
shark
like-
with lightning, how much voltage to flash fry it, or will it just explode?
A bolt of lightning can have enough energy, if it's depending on the charge, to power the city of Toronto for like 5 years.
Yeah, you'll have a Kentucky Fried Shark.
I mean, really,
Oh,
my
yeah.
experience in getting hit by lightning, because I've been hit by lightning, is I didn't get hit in the head. I was standing near the lightning, and it goes through the ground, and it can get you. You don't have to be anywhere near the lightning for it to get you. In fact, that's its favorite way to get you, is when you least expect it. You're like, taking a leak, or you're doing the dishes.
Doing the dishes. Playing
It's like,
golf.
Gotcha. You're playing golf. I mean, that's an obvious way.
You're just asking for it at that point.
that's
That's what you get for playing golf.
Please,
in a
Lord,
lightning
I
storm.
want to be hit by lightning today. But you don't get a lot of that in Victoria, and that's why people live in Victoria, I guess, so they can play golf without getting killed.
Well,
yeah, everything here attracts lightning. It's just,
And why I live in Wells is because I like lightning, and I like chasing storms.
and I live out here, so I get lightning and storms, and I can see the storms from a mile away, maybe 100 miles away.
that's the beauty of the prairie, man, is that you can just watch and see. You can watch tomorrow happen before it
Right.
gets to you.
Pretty
'Cause
much,
it's
yeah.
there, it's way over there.
You can go up to the second floor of your house, and for 3 days, you can watch your wife run away.
Oh yeah.
Of course, the fact that she feels the need to run away from you is a whole other story.
Cabin fever. There's
Yeah.
only so much you can take.
Wow.
Okay, open a window or something, man. If it's that bad, if the smell inside is that bad, just crack a window.
And have you met a lot of people in the prairies? You'd probably be running.
Well, to be fair,
Well, I had a
Imagine you woke
woodpecker
up-
on the house today, so
our Ginger Jim is
What?
pretty much the most.
I don't think. Are we allowed to?
I know.
Associate producer, said he had a woodpecker at his house today. Are we allowed to talk about that? Is that
Really?
it's an animal, right? Or a bird.
okay? Good.
Bird. It's just a bird.
Oh, okay. Well, we know it's a bird.
One thing happens to you other than the cat incident, and you're like, meh, it was a bird. Okay, to be fair, meh.
Nothing happened to the woodpecker though. I yelled at it. Okay, told
Why
her
were
to
you-
get lost because
Yeah,
I was trying to
exactly.
record some weather, and all I hear is I'm sitting here. I go to the window and I gave it a little shout, and it flew away. Yeah,
Yeah, Brandon speaks woodpecker.
I
You just
I
went and
speak
yelled at a
woodpecker.
bird.
Yeah,
Okay, so-
yeah, a little bit better than mine.
I guess when you live on the prairies, it takes a lot for neighbor children to be on your lawn when they shouldn't be. So instead of yelling at kids to get off of your lawn, you're yelling at a bird to get off your roof.
Get off my
So
roof.
someday
and stop
we're gonna
making
have-
You
noise.
do not look like you're 75, but I'll take it.
Someday we're gonna have the Frankie McDonald World Tour. Frankie,
Yes.
where's all the places you plan to go? Talk to us about the World Tour.
Going to every city in North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Oceania.
Going to go to every
single
country in the
on
world.
entire face of the planet Earth ever. Possibility to go to the moon and Mars.
So every town that hears this, stay tuned, because the Frankie McDonald World Tour is coming. He's going to every country on Earth. He's even possibly going to Mars and the
It's
moon.
inevitable.
Maybe, definitely the space station. That's going to happen eventually. Right, Frankie?
Yes. And then we go to Saturn's moon Titan.
That's maybe a far off shot.
That's really ambitious, man. Just saying.
I don't think anyone's planning to go to Titan human wise yet. But I hear NASA's inventing propulsion systems that are faster than what we're doing. So congratulations for anybody who wants to go to Mars. They can go to their death that much quicker across space.
I think I'm good with the moon.
I want to
I
go
don't
to
want to go
Mars.
there.
You know why I want to go to Mars? The different gravity. I can shot put a shark anywhere I want. I can jump really high. I can live like a superhero. I can pick up real big heavy things and make it look like I'm lifting super heavy weights when really it's like just light gravity.
You
I want
get
to
to
go to
witness
Mars. That seriously,
blizzards.
y'all never seen Total Recall? I want to go to Mars.
It's like the middle of the winter and people are sitting around in Canada and they're going crazy and they're like, oh, I just want to get out of Canada. Maybe, I know, let's go
try
to
Mars.
Mars someday. Well,
where it's
Yeah.
colder.
because that's
than-
so much better than here.
Okay, what are you doing here that you can't do on Mars? Other
Frankie,
than
what
watch your
happens
wife
on
run away
Mars?
across a prairie.
I can't
What?
suntan
Up
on
in
Mars. so-
They get powerful sandstorms up in Mars. They get powerful
Yeah.
storms for blowing sand up in Mars.
What else happens there, Frankie?
They have red sky and things like this, reddish skies, no oxygen, things like this. People have to wear a spacesuit on Mars.
It's got some pretty bad weather there, doesn't it?
Yes, it
It's
does.
windy, very
And
cold.
up in Saturn's moon Titan, it rains liquid nitrogen like liquid up in Saturn's moon Titan. And their
And then
atmosphere is way different there.
There's no malls there yet. There's no video arcades even. They haven't even caught up to the 80s. The Mars has nothing. People want to go there. They're like signing
You know
up.
what Mars has? Mars has fewer people than where you are. So I would think this would appeal to you because you live out in the mountains because you don't want to be around people. So looking at Mars and saying there's nothing there, this just I don't buy your reason for being away from society now. Now I'm questioning.
That may be true. However, one thing the mountains has in abundance that I quite like is oxygen,
Sand
Oxygen.
scratches.
clean air, and clean water. That's like,
Fresh mountain air.
Okay, moose
Yeah.
and Sasquatches.
and all I have to do is
You can go
accept
to
that
Pluto.
Quinnell is actually over there. What's
And
that, Frankie?
Even go to planet Pluto. It's now a dwarf planet. And Chiron, it could go to Kuiper, Eris, Sedna, and Ceres. Those are the dwarf planets further away from the sun than Pluto.
Hmm.
Okay, fair enough.
fair enough. And the other thing that mountains have is bears too. Yeah, lots of bears. So I guess the
There is-
National Park Service says never push a slower friend down when escaping a bear. You know that, right? That's good.
You don't have to be faster than the bear.
Yeah,
These are
don't
here
push
for-
them, just run
Sorry.
faster.
Yeah.
Just let nature happen. Don't encourage it. That's good non-murderous advice.
Are there bears in
Absolutely.
Sydney, Nova Scotia, Frankie?
They
Hanging
got
around
blind-
downtown?
They got odd bears in Sydney, Nova Scotia, Canada. And did you hear about this? Antarctica is getting some darkness now because they'll be getting 12-hour daylight, 12-hour darkness in South Pole Station, McMurdo Station on March 20th. And up North Pole, Kukultuk, where Olivier lives, and Iqaluit, Greece Fjord, and all those places in Residue Bay, they'll be having 12-hour daylight on March 20th. Says the sun's direct equation at the equinox, at the equator. Then once again in around the end of May, then it will be. In the end of May, then it'll be 24-hour daylight up in the Arctic and 24-hour darkness in Antarctica. Then
It'll be cold out in Antarctica, won't it?
a lot of scientists in Antarctica will be leaving South Pole Station and McMurdo Station before the winter.
That's awesome. Now, does Antarctica have penguins or is that the other end? The other side of the planet?
The Antarctica has penguins and the Arctic has polar bears.
Now, whenever you've seen a soft drink commercial where the penguins and the polar bears are hanging out, they're lying to you. That never happens because penguins live on the other side of the planet, which is actually a long ways away. And then all they have in common is it's a cold, miserable, barren wasteland where they live. But it's two completely separate, cold, barren, miserable wastelands. Why would the big corporations lie to you, Frankie?
Big corporations, things like this, and making stuff and things like this. And I can't say it because I can't say anything about environmental activist stuff at all.
Okay.
Okay. I didn't
Well, I
expect
will.
that. Okay, so Frankie's apparently on a watch list.
No, I don't like to talk about environmental activist stuff at all.
You know what? That's
Fair enough.
There's a couple
Save
of
that for
subjects
me.
that are just unnecessarily controversial, and it's best to just avoid them. So, and this is not the format for that. So, good call, Frankie.
And in my defense as an environmental activist over the years, I put my money where my mouth is, and I've saved lots of forests from burning down, man. It's like I'm out there in the soot and the heat and just loving it, fighting them. And like there's times where I'm like out there at a fire and I'm like, I got say a little hose, and then like every little plant I see like the edge of the fire is creeping up and there's like a whole bunch of greenery, and I'm like saving you guys, like just this feeling of like I'm doing a good thing for you. And I love that aspect of the job. I actually feel good. I feel like I'm actually people are like,
awesome.
yeah, and it's not for the human use of the forest I care, but I know that's a big aspect of it. That's timber and it's worth money. But just to me, it's like the pleasure of saving a plant. and you do it all day long. You know, Imogen, you've been on the cover of every magazine in the world this week. You're on the cover of National Geographic. You were on the cover of GQ, Rolling Stone. You were on the cover of NHL.
Right, NHL. I forgot that day that I was doing hockey stuff. I've never played hockey in my life, and I don't know how the game is played, which is probably the most un-Canadian thing I will ever say.
Yeah, don't ever say that again on my show.
Fair enough. Okay, I will not disparage your thing. I will not disparage hockey because apparently I can get kicked out of Canada for doing that.
We actually only got 4 minutes left.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because we're doing the 10 minutes shorter. I gotta make space for all the things we're gonna throw in.
Yeah, but to be fair, yes, I was on the cover of a couple of fashion magazines last month. One out in New York that was Off Town Magazine and Mauvier, which is based in Paris. I just earlier today did an interview with another magazine. Until it's printed, I'm not going to say which one because I don't want to curse it, being a little superstitious. But it's definitely a Rolling Stone, Revolver, Maxim style of magazine. So it's music and girls, stuff like that. Kind of a men's magazine, but it's not dirty. Just like Maxim, right? Did an interview with that one, and I have 2 more covers come down the pipeline. And one of my goofy videos on TikTok went completely viral in the last week. So I just checked the play count a minute ago. It's at 31,300 plays in like a week, which I'm not active on TikTok, so it's a little weird that it took off, but there it goes. So
no, it's a terrible platform that's trying to brainwash our children into having no attention span.
But to be fair, it's a cute pet video. And like the guy in it who has the really strong reaction, the reason he reacts the way he does is because it's actually the dog in the video is a Mexican rescue. And this is one of the first times that the dog is okay with taking a treat from his human companion's face. So the guy gives the dog a treat, holds the piece of bacon in his mouth, and the dog takes it so gentle. And that's why the other guy is so shocked by it. It's because, the backstory. No, there's no backstory in the video.
Which is why I can't use the video. Because the guy's reaction is
no, you can. You can. It's that part will be dropped in audio, but
which is the best part is the guy's reaction. So you can find Imogen, Imogen.in. You can find her TikTok, and you can see for yourself the hilarious. It's like a Trailer Park Boys kind of reaction. It's like, you can imagine. We've seen dogs take things out of the guy's mouth before, but when the guy says what he says, it's when it's actually funny, and it's like a 6-second long clip. I mean, what do you want me to do?
You know what? It's even without that, it's still doing its own thing. Like, so I looked at the analytics, and it's just like the most retention is actually at that point where the dog takes the treat. Like, so from the analytics, I can see who's watching up to what point, and the guy's reaction. For me, I've watched it a few times, like on my phone. I've watched it a few times just because I think it's funny and I know the backstory. But for everyone else, it's that awesome pet moment, that awesome moment between a guy and his dog.
It's kind of like this. Funny. It's kind of like this. The dog's like, oh.
Only bites the guy's face.
The guy's
off.
missing he's got his fingers off. He's like, ah! Frankie, how does everyone find you on the internet?
My Twitter is at Frankie MacD. My Facebook is Frankie MacDonald. My Instagram is Frankie MacD 1984. My TikTok is Frankie MacDonald 1984. My Clapper is Frankie MacDonald 1984. My Twitch is Frankie MacDonald 1984. My LinkedIn is Frankie MacDonald. And my Snapchat is Frankie MacDon. And my YouTube channel is Dogs and Wolves, aka Frankie MacDonald. Best of luck to you. I'm Frankie MacDonald. You are listening to the Comedeorological Weather Report on every Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time. Best of luck to you. I'm Frankie MacDonald.
And I'm Joey Only, your host and madman here in Wells, British Columbia. You can find the show if you want to find any of the back episodes. Joey Only, Caribou Weather Dude. You're hearing us on CFBX, CFUR, CKUW, Shaw Spotlight. You're hearing us possibly in outer space somewhere. If our sound waves are now traversing the universe. It's great to know. That's why I wanted to be on radio, not just on internet, because I want our sound waves to exist forever. That's how it is. And we're here with Imogen Cookie Bailey, associate producer. We're here with weather specialist Brandon Hauk and the star of the show, Frankie MacDonald in Sydney, Nova Scotia. We'll be back next week, I hope.
Maybe. No promises.
It'll be episode 100.
Awesome.
100th show, Frankie.
Next week will be 100th show of the Joey Only Show, Comedian Plus Meteorology. Show 100 since early January 2021.
It's your 100th show. It's my 100th show. It's not called the Joey. It's called the Comedeorological. It's our show. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of my show. Anyways, bye for now. Oh, wait. Gallery? I can't do the gallery because we got my thing and Hilding's thing in there. I was trying to get like a last shot of us all waving, but to hell with it.
I wasn't waving. Sorry.
Screenshot, man. Screenshot.
Okay, good enough. Good job, Frankie. Good job, everyone. Getting through. Like, I can only do so much, and like Hilding's writing me, asking me how to get on.
What about the screenshot?
And like, I already had like my phone. Like, I got this like box in front of my computer, so I can't actually type. I'm like over here trying to answer him, and people are messaging me. Anyways, did my best to kind of like
And
just
Frankie's gone.
going. And I get distracted, so then I'm losing my flow. Hope I did okay. Sorry about being morbid all the time. Can't help it.
Awesome. No, we have to. We totally need to use the little video clip on the thing. Like they can bleep the.
Now
that's not a problem.
No, now it's gonna be my voice going. Oh darn!
Oh God. A really shitty voiceover.
At the end of all
delightful.
that, at the end of all that discussion, that I'll just throw it in there. Or like the Bruce Willis Die Hard TV version, Shoot!
Oh, I'm so impressed that they did two versions of everything, like that they actually had him record the TV version, so he's self-censoring.
It's so stupid.
It ruins scenes in an action movie where swear words would happen. It is a colorful.
Like, just have nothing, because no one's gonna fly out of an airplane saying shoot.
No,
you could just have him going ah.
Bruce Willis screaming. This is what he does. You know what? Swear words are the sprinkles on conversation. They're the croutons on the ice cream sundae of dialogue, and they serve a purpose, man. Just saying, and ruining Bruce Willis' dialogue. I love Die Hard. It's close to my heart. I love Die Hard, and so this atrocity. It was hard to see.
Hard to see.
I guess Brandon doesn't know, but like in 1991, when they first put Die Hard 2 on TV,
I wasn't alive.
Not old enough. No.
I was not alive.
Yeah, and
1991.
They weren't allowed to have swear words in the movie for whatever reason. So they redubbed every swear word in the movie with a soft word. So instead of when he's flying out of the airplane, it's blowing up below him. He's like ejecting himself, and all those terrorists are throwing grenades in the airplane. And as he's flying in the air, he's going, shit. But in the redub, he's like, shoot. And it just sounds so stupid. And people laughed about it for years.
It's okay. So part of the novelty of it is the audio is so badly lined up. Like it's clearly, it's his voice. He recorded it, but he just like in a
no one was trying
recording studio, and they didn't line it up. Just like there was no effort. It was so bad. It was so badly done. It was literally him talking over himself.
Nice. Joe Stover sent me 3 videos of Northern Lights.
Good. Oh boy.
Yeah, good. So I gotta record like an extra Joe Stover intro and Red Rover, I call Joe Stover over.
Awesome.
That would have been awesome to have his name in a Red Rover game back in elementary school.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
the
did
time I called him Joe Verstow.
Oh, looks like Pete answered a message somewhere. Oh, in the Comedian Meteorological, one of Frankie's multitude of Instagram
Oh.
chat groups. Pete
Oh,
threw
yeah.
a message in there. Frankie sent a
did.
video in earlier to the Comedian Meteorological Weather Report Green Room cast on Instagram group, and Pete just put something in there. I'm not opening the message. I don't want anyone to see that I know what came in,
Oh,
despite saying it on a live stream. Still,
I won't say what it is.
no one in that
but I
group
know
is
what I
watching
said.
this. Or maybe
I'll
they are.
screenshot
Don't-
it and send it to you.
I don't know or care at this point.
Yes.
It's nothing.
Did I just lose audio?
No,
No.
you're
No,
still
I mean,
here.
like, you guys just got real quiet on my end.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, we're just.
do you need
just
me to
thinking.
turn this up here? Ah, okay.
Ah!
No, it's because Brandon and I were just contemplating the direction of the show going forward. That's all. We just out of the blue, we just got quiet,
Oh, yeah.
contemplating. Yeah.
That's right.
Had to stop and think about life
Think about life.
Yes.
and your place in it. Wow. Well, that's something neat.
That's the point of the show. Just stop and think about life. How the weather behaves in life there. There we go.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
kind of
now-
stoked that video is getting the traffic that it is. Like, TikTok's not my platform. I just occasionally throw mostly pet videos up there. Like,
Yeah.
mostly it's a little bit of fitness stuff and pet videos, and there's no consistency. But I just threw this little thing on there, and it's got like 31,000+ plays.
What's the score of the Leafs Flames game right now, Brandon?
Oh, we tied 1-1.
Whoa. All right. One thing I'm definitely gonna have to do is start editing on Thursday nights for now on. I can't really leave it till Friday mornings.
Oh yeah.
All right. So that's one change. I've had the kids here all week, so it's like my house is just a disaster. It's like, ugh. You know, it's like just
Star
was
Wars
not.
everywhere.
This just was not the week though for me to do. I don't have the new computer yet. You know, it's just like we're a week early on this. Hopefully next week we're like really rolling and I'm done recording at least, guys.
Yeah.
Kids
Awesome.
just come. They've been
They've been
they're at Uncle Josh's who also is in the building playing Minecraft and things on his computers.
Yeah, and then we've got our guest coming in on the 16th, so we should be good on that.
When can we talk about your announcements?
My announcements. When they finally release my announcement.
Okay.
I don't know when they have a feeling they're waiting for our show to do that. I didn't ask them or anything, but
Sweet. Tell them to release it so that we can start talking about it.
yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully by the 16th they have it released by
Talking about nothing because we're still live streaming.
I know.
Yeah.
Talking about
Images gonna be like talking about what?
what
I'm like,
announcement?
nothing.
Yeah, I'm not paying attention. I was sort of doing something else because, like,
Something that only Brandon and I know about and you don't know about and you have to accept it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody,
I'm good with that.
everywhere.
Secret.
You'll find out when you,
If
if
it
you need to
doesn't
know
concern
basis.
me, I don't care.
You'll find out when you find out, you know.
Awesome.
We will tell you shit.
So I have a feeling everybody thinks that this is the show going on Shaw Spotlight's the big announcement I've been hinting about in the last couple of weeks. I did put a thing out, but
I figured that you had something else going on.
oh,
We
it's
got lots of
Same.
things going on.
it's big, something big. It is.
Awesome.
And it's all
Oh,
part
are
of
you getting
Chasing
married? Brandon's pregnant.
Well,
That's
Brandon's
the
getting
announcement.
married.
Kind of like that.
You nailed it.
It's
Are
that
you a
Chaser
mail order
Con.
bride?
To a dust
Mail
devil.
order boy? He's what?
We're doing it at
So-
Chaser Con.
Yep.
Right on stage there. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Something like that. Almost.
Well, okay then. Brandon's up to something sneaky. We're gonna find out that he's got a double life as a bank robber.
Well, that's right.
Robbing trains. That's a
Robbing
little outdated,
cats.
man. Stealing cats. Illegal
And
transportation
doing
of
the
kitties.
Cat scratch fever.
and doing the general work of Satan.
Yes. It's that red hair, man. We all
Red
know
hair.
what's going on.
That's right.
Our ginger gem is a tool of the devil.
Tool of the devil.
Well, that's the show for this week, everyone in YouTube world. I think, because I gotta start eating and then downloading what we just recorded. And then I got to start adding in all the different clips we got, because we got basically a whole bunch of video clips going. That's the part of the new format of the show, is it's video clip heavy. Yeah, so we're going to do that, get the video clips going.
Perfect.
And yeah, I need just more time to edit in general. And I haven't eaten anything, because you know what happens to me on any show night of anything I've ever had a show on before, especially if I have to make the food, I'm not eating. It's just always how I've been. I'm on. I can't sit down and think about food. It's like, and then when the show's over, I'm like, damn, I'm hungry. You know, but
mussels
that's
that I had the other night. Yeah.
you should have some my muscles.
That's right.
Yeah.
My little weak
Okay.
muscles here.
You look pretty strong.
Oh yeah.
Sweet. Well, we got Joe Stover, so I got to record an extra thing for Joe. Write that down. Record intro for Joe.
Make sure you mention Red Rover in it. You know.
Oh yeah, Red Rover.
love that. That's probably his favorite game.
It was one of my favorite games.
Yeah.
Fucking
I like
hammering people.
dodgeball.
Kind of mosh pit training. I mean, that one and dodgeball, that's mosh pit training ground.
Yeah. Dodgeball's good. I like it.
Well, yeah. And if you can't make another kid cry, it's, what's the point?
Because you can't throw a ball. That's
Well, yeah. Learn to throw, hit or be hit. It's a game of violence. If you don't want
One
to
of
play
my
it,
talents is I can make
play.
kids cry with my words. I was always good at that, even when I was a kid.
Fair enough.
tell them you're
didn't
terrible
mean to
at throwing.
dodgeball.
They're crying.
It's like the dodgeball in the face is just the extra. Like, oh yeah, by the way, now remember how I made you cry about words earlier? Here's a dodgeball in the face too.
I could smell.
I had like
right now.
I had a local troll this week, just yesterday. Just a local troll just go off on my Facebook page there yesterday. Just and I'm known for being pretty diplomatic, but I've just known the guy long enough, and I was just like, I don't give a shit what you say, you abuse, you abusive bastard.
So what happened? What was he doing? Some guy just yelled at you on Facebook?
No, he's just just trolling, just someone I've known for years, and is like, but I haven't talked to him in like 2 years, and all of a sudden he's just like, it's like the right wing hates spam garbage. Everyone hates you. No one cares what you have to say. You left wing idiot, get a job, blah blah blah, all that shit, right?
Okay.
And it's just like and he's telling me that no one in town cares about no. If you knew what people think about you, and it's like, I don't fucking care. You think I? But anyways, I got thinking about it. So I was at the diner today in Wells, and I was like sitting there with everybody, 10 minutes before his dad walked in the door, and then didn't stay. And I was like, does anyone in this town actually like Tyler? And then everyone just goes quiet. And the one lady that says, only ever heard bad. It's just like, there's a guy. There's a guy, it's like, that's all he can do is just tear you down. That's all he's got.
That's fantastic.
I was like, yeah, no one cares what I think. You make countertops for a living. No one cares what you think. Nobody.
To just
No one cares what I think.
To just
Maybe you're right.
ask
Maybe no one should care what I think. Maybe you're right about that. But the other thing is that no one cares what you think.
to directly ask a room full of people. That is fabulous.
Oh, that's how I am.
And
It's
have
like,
it
oh, look, a
so
bunch of
quiet.
Wells locals. And just dawned on me. I'm sitting there. It's like, okay, well, maybe you're right. Maybe people don't like me, but they like you even worse. And the first thing everyone's got to say is, yeah, she shouldn't have gone back to him after he hit her, the first time. It's like, and I just called him out. I was like, you are trash. That's what I said yesterday. You are trash. You are abusive trash. I don't care what you say. I was like, come on over.
Well, okay.
Block. Well, that was
Facebook and your ongoing drama.
But it's like people think they're gonna tear me down. And I mean, maybe it works for a minute or two, but usually what it does is make me laugh even, and that was what he's like, I'm laughing at you is one of his things. Like, go ahead. That's what I'm trying to make people do is laugh. Like, I don't care how you fucking laugh. That's your problem. You think you're laughing because I'm an idiot? Other people are laughing because because I'm an idiot. You think I fucking care? Is that how I've lived any of my 43 years of my insanely left-handed life? Fitting into what everyone else thinks I should do.
I like how much you're demonstrating a lack of care.
Yeah. No, like I'll bring out the nice Joey, but the other side of Joey's like, I'll go to a forest fire and fucking bleed from my feet.
What? Why are your feet bleeding?
Because you work so goddamn hard and running through swamps that your feet fucking tear apart. And you have no choice because shit's hitting the fan. That's a good day, man. That's all I gotta say. I don't care if anyone in town likes what I say or care,
Dear Lord.
Doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter at all. In fact, I kind of got just joy out of the whole thing. Like, good. Freaking right-wing guy like you wants to dump on me and call me art fag. Go ahead.
I'm so glad this is not being recorded.
Well, it's on the live stream, but yeah. Anyways.
On that note, Joey's angry. Gone to a feud on Facebook.
No, I didn't do anything. I'm just being me. Some guy just starts shitting all over my life. It's like, you think you're the only one this week who's tried that?
And he's making a point of not caring.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, no, that's pretty regular. I get some hate mail from some lunatic fucking fringe person who I've learned long ago to say whatever. That's what I think about it. But you can't live your life. So this is what I said to Christian when I was eating with him today. I'd like, I don't know what you think about me actually, dude. Like, I don't even actually care that much. But if I see you broke down the side of the road, I'm going to stop. You can go talk shit about me around town. So I don't care what you think. Do I care about you? Yeah. And that's how a town has to be, right? That's how you have to be as an artist. You care about people, but you can't let that control or make you second guess who you are or what you're trying to do. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's my message. And Frankie even talking about the bullies and the trolls and the haters, I learned to tune them out. And it's like, that's the strength of Frankie.
Yep.
Do you ever get haters, Brandon?
Haters, I don't get many, but as I do what Frankie does too. I don't have any feelings left to be hurt or something like that. That's what James Spann says.
Well, when you remind yourself that you're dead inside, then
that's
and not a whole lot gets to you.
I love you too, Richard Bone. He's watching.
He's on.
He's a right winger, but I don't care about his politics. I like Richard.
So why are you highlighting it?
Because it was
You're
nothing
just
happens
stuck
all week.
on politics.
Just nothing happens all week. I'm just sitting here minding my own business, trying to make comedy videos, and I'm just getting
funny, man.
Just getting like vitriol, like hate mail splash all over my Facebook.
Dear Lord.
It's like,
way to
it's
bring
like something
the
to talk
cheer.
about, right?
Way to bring the cheer on camera.
Well,
positive energy, people.
I did have one person message the radio station, and that was before they let me onto the station page. So this is one person's been messaging the station over and over again that they don't like me, they don't like how I do the weather, all that other stuff. But,
wow.
It's fine. So I see that message come through, and I'm gonna jump on that. So I message back. So I type in there and I say, "Oh, thank you so much for the nice, kind words." And I put a little slant, Brandon Hauk, sign my name at the bottom there, and they've never messaged the station again. So
oh no,
that's how I did it.
How
Yeah,
often
well, and
were
they
they
realize
messaging?
that, you
Were they
I can
messaging,
see it.
man?
like, sorry, Brandon's not the perfect fucking weatherman. Like, what do you want?
No,
It's like,
he's the perfect
you know,
man.
he's the perfect man, though.
Perfect.
Cackles like a witch and has a bong mic. So
There's a bong mic and cackles like a witch.
yeah, what more do you
Oh,
want?
you should have heard my
Soulless,
laugh
dead
on
inside,
Tuesday night.
cackling.
That's in the show, that laugh of mine.
Yeah. So
That's
how
after-
many messages did you get? Like from that one guy,
From one girl. It was
one listener.
one listener. I'd say there was at least 12 in there when I was
Wow.
scrolling through. Messaged again.
That is,
That was right before they let me on. So the other host didn't talk. They didn't interact with them. So
oh wow.
They just kept
ignored
sending
them.
the
kept
messages and not
sending
getting
them,
any
send it.
response.
So yeah, so then I just jumped on and I said, oh, I'll just write something here. That's how we end it. And
Thank
it's
you
their
for
word.
your
They're
kind
gonna
words.
my feelings are gonna be heard or something. I don't know if they told me or I don't know, but anyways, I thought it was funny. I just
Well, yeah.
signed my name at the bottom. And that was last time I heard from them. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Scared them
actually
away.
disappointing. That's actually disappointing that the letters stopped there. Like it would have been impressive if they wrote back and said,
I would have encouraged it. I would have
Yeah.
actually done the opposite. Of like, can you please tell us more? We'd
Oh.
like to hear your valuable. Can you come on the radio at this time? I would have like milked it, man.
I mean, thank you for your kind words is great, but
You're
like
nice. I would have been like,
You know-
here's comedy gold.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed that they didn't write back and say, okay, clearly you didn't get my message. Here's why I hate you. there's a solid case to be made for a clearly defined hate letter. Hate mail has its place. Put your thoughts into words.
And this
Think
was
it
on
out.
the station's Facebook Messenger. So that was
Wow.
even better. So-
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Keep messaging over and over again. I can't stand that little man.
Oh, yeah. She said, I don't like his twang. That's what she said. Yes, that's the.
Well, I mean, it does occasionally grate the ears. That's
Don't like my.
Fine, Karen.
but this is what I like about it. It's-
Find Karen and friends.
That was funny. I
That's
laughed
awesome.
as I was messaging back. They all thought they'd hurt my feelings, but no.
That's Alberta. It's like Brandon's getting complaints like he doesn't represent the word of God.
Mm,
Still Alberta.
Have you been to Alberta?
Yes, I loved it.
Me too.
Have we never met? Like,
Calgary Stampede.
Our band used to play in Calgary every Stampede, and we made so much money and had so much fun and got so much free booze. And I swear to you, Alberta is one of the best provinces in Canada. And everyone, of course, there's the attitude problem Albertans have towards the rest of Canada. And then there's an attitude problem back. And it's almost like, hey, as long as everyone doesn't know how cool Alberta is, I'll just keep going there and being like, right on. Like, because there's so many good people living good lives
yeah.
I love the land there. And I love kind of the cowboy mystique. And, I loved working riding with Malcolm McLean up in the hills there outside Bragg Creek and outside on Highway 22. Like there's like 5,000 hectares of ranch, and we're just riding along fence line in the Rocky Mountains. Like,
I
man,
just
what do you
wanna-
want?
I just want to circle back to this whole cowboy mystique thing because I gotta say that really sounds like a very male-dominated adult film.
Speaking of that, that's for what's that movie? That cowboy.
I never
movie.
actually did watch Humpback Mountain.
Oh yeah, that's where that was filmed.
In Alberta.
Yeah, it was Ian
That was
Tyson's
the-
ranch. Yeah.
I was at that one guy's ranch near Staveley there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
He was the.
Well, Ian Tyson has his ranch in Black Diamond. Well, he doesn't anymore, obviously.
I know what he
But-
did. He was the.
Obviously. Why
But
is
his
it not
ranch made all kinds of movies, and
Yeah.
that's where all that mountain scenery. In so many movies, you see this mountain scenery. It's actually in cowboy movies. It was actually Ian Tyson's ranch, and I know Pam Woodall's husband. She's from Nanton, Alberta. He worked for years there, and if you're ever in Nanton and you stop at Pam's little coffee shop, say hi for me.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was. So they made all kinds of movies there. I didn't actually see the movie, I admit, and it wasn't because I have no problem with homoerotic
I
movies.
just don't like drama.
Yeah, I don't like drama. It's like it's a 3-hour
Yeah,
long
I'm not a
movie
fan
and
of
no one got
drama,
fucking shot.
period. If it's winning awards that a lot of people care about, I'm probably not gonna like it. It doesn't have.
I watched The
monsters
Mandalorian
ruining
last night,
things.
season 3, episode 1 with my kids, and we were like, "That was wicked." That's who we are, It's like,
Yeah, I watched
Yeah,
a movie
just
called
monsters
Grown-Ups.
wrecking stuff.
if I like
Giant
a Western
nature going
movie, it's like
crazy.
Unforgiven, like everyone fucking dies.
Yeah, lots of bullets flying around, lots of violence, explosions, car chase, girls screaming, and monsters ruining things, wrecking buildings, smashing stuff.
Nonetheless, the movie was really important for a lot of reasons.
Cartoons.
It was an important movie that had to be made, and I think it's, I'm in favor of the movie. I don't want to sit down for 3 hours. I'm too ADD to watch a 3-hour long movie about cowboys and love. Like, I just don't fucking care about anything enough.
Yeah,
You got to watch The Last of Us then.
Yeah, that's the other deal breaker for me is if it's a love story, I don't care. I don't want to see people wind up happy and shit. Like,
oh, look they're having the total opposite experience in life than you, Joey. It's like, oh, great. No, I'll watch Mandalorian shoot some motherfuckers down. That was awesome.
Now you got to watch The Last of Us. That was filmed in Alberta.
What's The Last of Us?
That's the zombie one.
Oh, fuck. How many zombie movies do you need?
It's not a zombie. It's a TV series.
Okay.
It's filmed in Alberta, and you recognize the cities.
You're in Alberta.
You get to see Calgary,
Son of
Edmonton,
a
Lethbridge.
bitch.
Well, that's cool. Okay. I dig that.
Oh yeah.
Is there anything more beautiful in the world than like flying into Calgary after you've not been in Alberta for a while? And
Back from China and flying right into the city there. That was like one of the highlights, going over the mountains and right into the city.
Whenever I catch a flight into Calgary, I just like, yes, Alberta, there's just that view of the mountains coming in and the city and the way the skies are. Yeah. And of course, I'm a storm chaser and I played country music for a living for years. Alberta was so good to me every time. Unlike Quebec, where my first visit there, I ended up in jail for 4 days. And that's a whole other story.
You did bad things in Quebec. Why? What did Quebec ever do to you?
I was at the Anarchist Book Fair and a whole bunch of people got arrested. They're rounding people up. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And then accusing them of things that they didn't necessarily need to have proof. Because once you got 30 people on trial, then you offer a plea deal of next to nothing. Then everyone's crazy looking charges suddenly become like probation and whatnot. And that's a game of the crown. So we all get stuck with criminal charges, but hey, at least you didn't get 18 months of jail, which you could have got if you. And it's like, well, you live halfway across the country. Well, there's 30 people. We offer all 30 the plea deal, and you all just take it. That's how it works sometimes in protests of any kind, left, right, doesn't matter, right?
Okay.
That's when you look at my criminal record and like every time I've applied for a job or like I'm like, I'm a rescue or firefighter or whatever. Like, you have a criminal record? I'm like, well, yeah, for protesting, like, whatever.
For being a hippie.
Like you didn't stab any children? Like, no,
it's not for violent crime. It's for
protesting. Not since I was a kid, I haven't.
Well, okay.
All right, I better shut this down and get eating food and get my kids back. And that was a lot of fun. Love you all, and
yeah, go to hell. You can keep your cowboy love. You can keep your drama movies and awards and whatever for production, and go to hell. I love none of you.
If it was a 3-hour gay cowboy movie, and then there's like a love triangle, and there's a shootout, and there's someone who's a real bigot who's a problem, and
what's that? What movie?
And they end up burying him in the back 40 or something. Like, now you got a movie that's kind of in my neck of the woods. Like, it's.
You know what, the love story.
But just in general, like,
what's that movie called?
I heard Titanic was being re-released. The thought of it made me puke.
You know what?
That's the last thing I need to see again.
Not the end of the world, but it can't be the focus. Give me a Godzilla or a Mothra or something, or a Freddy Krueger.
Have you seen the movie called
in
A Million Ways to Die in the West?
Yeah.
Yes.
The Godzilla, by the way, the King of the Monsters were
Yeah.
King Ghidorah. That was really cool. I thought for a modern Godzilla movie, they really captured that end shot when, there's Godzilla, King of the Monsters. It's like,
Yeah, see,
they
that's
couldn't
fine.
quite do that with King Kong.
You can jam any kind of love story in the background of that. That's, as long as it's not at the forefront.
There was no love story
patience
in
for feelings
that one.
in
It was just
film,
pure
not
fucking
entertainment.
monster carnage. It was wicked.
Right? Give me violence and mayhem.
No, I just want to see things I don't see all the time. It's like,
Yeah. I don't see a guy with a chainsaw smashing everything up and like slashing people to bits all the time. I want it in my
no, I
entertainment.
just keep it to trees.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like I go and cut
Chainsaw the
trees
tree.
down all the time. I think, what could this chainsaw also do? Well, I'm not that,
If you're
I'm a nice
midget man,
guy.
it'll saw a lady in half.
Even cutting a tree down sometimes makes me feel bad because, I'm like, it's still alive, but it's a danger tree. Sorry, I guess, sometimes I'm like, that's it. What if it's an animal habitat in 10 years from now? It's like, I'm an environmentalist guy, right? It's like, but I'm thinking, what else could this chainsaw do? And then so I watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I feel like that's really good movie. I'm definitely not going to do that. No.
Yeah. That show's wild.
Yeah. And you got to love movies where you want everyone to die because they're just so annoying. And that's, what I hope our show isn't like ever.
I hope so. Hope not.
Yeah, whatever.
Because I'll be the first one, probably.
All right. Subscribe, everybody. Hit like. Tell your friends. Tell your mom. Tell the government.
Tell your
Tell
aunt.
Shaw Cable.
Tell your mom I'll see her on Tuesday.
Tell yourself.
I mean, okay, maybe not your mom, but
Tell yourself I'm good enough. Gosh darn it. And people like me. I'm good enough. I'm smart
That is
enough.
just so creepy.
And people like me. This has been Daily.